guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing what we did with Infinity Train Book 1 whenever it was airing, and we're going to be discussing the 4 new Steven Universe Future episodes that aired yesterday. I had work yesterday, so I couldn't watch it, but I got to go to my girlfriend Izzy's house so I could watch the 4 episodes with them, and boy, that was a crazy adventure going to her house. It took me an hour and a half to get there because I got lost and I ended up in a whole other city, but that's a story for another time. But let's just jump right into it. Now, I'm going to say the same thing I said in every single one of those Infinity Train videos. This video is very low effort. These kinds of videos are meant to fill the gap between reviews, and it's just so there can be content out there and there just isn't a bunch of dead space on my channel like there has been a lot recently. So I thought, why not give you some of my thoughts in a less edited way, and I thought I'd just give you my thoughts on Future. I'm gonna stop rambling and just get into it. So, I guess we'll start with episode 1, which was Little Homeschool, I think is what it was called. And let me just say, this is my third favorite episode out of the... Okay, I remember. This is my third favorite episode out of the 4 episodes that aired. And the episode it's pretty much just a catch-up for the first half. And it opens with Steven healing this corrupted gem. It turns out that there are still corrupted gems out there, and they're just still periodically catching them all. And whenever they do, they just immediately heal them. Steven even has these little cute bottles of the diamond's essence in there. Like, they're like labeled with the diamond's faces on them too. It's pretty cute. And he even winks at the screen. And he heals this gem, who I believe her name is Cherry Rose Quartz. And she's basically used as a catch-up, just a quick catch-up. In fact, you could probably jump from Change Your Mind to this episode without having to watch the movie. It's just a quick catch-up. But he informs us that Lars has opened his own cooking shop called Space Trees. It's a pastries-based shop, and it has like this cool space theme. And I actually think that shop was covered in the comics, so I'm glad to see it made canon. Sadie, Killer, and the suspects went on a world tour, and Connie is at home studying and preparing for college. We actually don't see any of Connie throughout this entire bomb, so that was a little disappointed. And the Crystal Gems have started a school in Little Homeworld called Little Homeschool, and they're basically teaching all the uncorrupted gems about just Earth stuff. Amethyst is literally a professor. Her name is Professor Amethyst. She has glasses on and everything. Onion is in the class for some reason, and she just has like this etiquette in a certain diction about her delivery. Is like, hello, I am Professor Amethyst, and today's the first lesson. All right, so just sit anywhere, it's fine. And then she just says, for the first lesson for the day is, there is no lesson, just do what you want for an hour. That's how we do it on Earth. Steven, you want to go get some lunch? It just kind of reminds me of Sans from Undertale. Not like all the memes and stuff about Sans. Like, if you actually played Undertale, you know when I like do the pacifist route, it really reminds me of Sans. And so that's the first half of the episode, and then Steven and Amethyst are getting lunch, and they're talking about how great this school idea was, and then they're like, yeah, everyone is really happy with this school, except for her. And then they just keep talking about who this her is, and eventually we just get to see Jasper. Jasper is living on Earth. She's isolated away from everyone, and honestly, Jasper just steals the show this episode. She's fucking hilarious. She's just like, any earthling who trespasses on this land gets crushed. You wouldn't believe how long it took me to pull out those weak green earthlings from the ground. And Steven freaks out at first, but then he's like, wait, do you just mean grass? And he's like, I don't know their names. Jasper's just fucking hilarious. And so Steven and Jasper actually get into a really heated argument about like weakness and strongness, and like Steven just goes off. He's just like, you did this to yourself. All the other uncorrupted gems, they got like blasted by the diamonds, but this is your fault. You corrupted yourself just to win a fight which you lost to me. And then Jasper just like goes on about how Steven only has his friends and that's only why he wins. And she's like, if you're hard enough to take me down, then fight me. And then he's like, all right, fine, I'll fight you. And then Jasper's just like, really? He just smiles with delight. And so there's this big fight, and then Steven unlocks his Pink Steven powers, which turns out to be like, there's not really an explanation given, but it's like it comes out at levels of high emotion, and I think that fight was just great. And Jasper doesn't hate Steven. I love that. She just wants to fight, and she just like beams with delight whenever he's finally kicking her ass, and she's just like, not bad. That's actually a really good throw. It's like she's just Undyne. I love how they made Jasper just Undyne, and it's so badass. Anyway, and then Steven, of course, kicks Jasper's ass, and he's like, bro, would you ever consider becoming a teacher? And Jasper, of course, is like, no, and Steven's like, no, to just me. I want you to train me. And she's like, consider that fight your first and only lesson. And Steven says, okay, well, I'm still gonna come back and visit you, and Jasper's fine with that. And that's I hope that's not all we see of Jasper in future, but overall, I really like that episode, especially the second half. The entire second half, it could have been less rushed. The second half of the episode could have been a lot more focused on instead of just being the second half of the episode. But yeah, Little Homeschool was really good. The second episode, Guidance, it was a really fucking funny episode, I'm not gonna lie. It's about Steven thinking that Amethyst isn't teaching the corrupted gems right, but it turns out she is. And antics ensue from there, because she gave them a bunch of Earth jobs on the boardwalk, but Steven's like, bro, this is just the stuff they did on Homeworld. And then he gives them completely opposite jobs, and hijinks ensue. And then at the end, it's like he forgot that Amethyst grew so much as a character. She knows what she's doing, and I guess that was the point of the episode. Oh, and they fuse in the smoky quartz, and those powers show up again. That was pretty awesome. But honestly, this was probably the funniest episode in terms of comedy. It was like really good. It was like classic season 1 humor. It was just great. Episode 3, Rosebuds, the zoo. They turned the zoo into a ship and they headed to Earth. Honestly, this episode was just really cringe-inducing. It wasn't cringy as in the humor was cringy, but you just cringed along with the character because you knew the backstories and stuff. The episode is about the unbubbled rose quartz gems that were in the zoo. They're out now, and 3 of them, and one who literally looks just like Rose, who was dead. They come to Earth to visit Steven's house, because they kind of like invade on his personal space, and Steven doesn't want to say no because they don't want to seem rude. And it just makes everyone really uncomfortable. And with the backstory, it's just really fucking funny. I don't know what it is. Just the reaction from all the characters when they see the rose quartzes. Amethyst is just in a conga line. Like, she's hanging with the Famethys throughout the whole episode, and she appears every now and then. She's just hanging in a conga line. She's like, "Hey, Steven, what's up?" And she sees the rose quartz gems, and she just makes a face for the rest of her appearance. It's fucking hilarious. And Pearl and Garnet are just really uncomfortable. Greg, whenever he comes in, he's just like, "Oh, Steven, is it okay if I come in here? I don't think I've ever been around this many of my exes at once," because Greg just broke all of the Zoomans' hearts, and it's just fucking funny. He sees her rose quartz gems. He just says nope and runs out the door. Not walks, he just runs. But there's like this heartfelt message about like how shitty Pink Diamond was, and they all agree how shitty she was, and they're like, "I'm glad we're at least related to each other," and that's that. Now, my favorite episode of the bunch, it had to be Volleyball, the one about Pink Pearl, and it was just like, oh, how did she get the scar, and can we fix it? I'm gonna try to keep it quick because we're coming up on 10 minutes, but just this entire episode, it was just like a subtle nod. It was like a subtle representation of abuse. Just like just like the subtle body language and the way Pink Pearl says things. Because, like, first of all, Steven is just Dr. Mario at the beginning of the episode. It's fucking funny. And he's just, like, healing all these cracked gems and stuff because all the uncorrupted gems are fucking rough. And then Pink Pearl comes in and she's like, oh, can you fix my crack? And he tries, but he can't. He gets Pearl and they have some banter. First of all, they are cute together. They get together at the end of the episode, so I'm glad Pearl finally found someone. And they're both like, oh wow, man, White, I can't believe White was so careless. I can't believe she did this to you. And Pink Pearl's just like, oh no, this wasn't White. This was Pink Diamond. She wanted a colony so bad, and so she went directly to White, but she told her no. So she just like did one of her little tantrums, and I just happened to get too close that time. That line right there, that was honestly the deepest line in this series so far. Just I happened to get a little too close that time, and just and what's it? Steven has another one of his rage things with his pink powers, and his rage is honestly really refreshing just to see this Optimus turn into just this raging monster. That's why I love the Steven Universe episode, Steven's Dream, just because he finally fucking snaps, and I love it. I love it when Steven snaps. It's so badass, and I just love it. But him snapping causes, I guess I forgot to mention, they go to this place where pearls are made or whatever. It causes them to get trapped, and they were about to get rejuvenated, and Pink Pearl and Pearl have a heart-to-heart, and Pearl's just like, I'm so sorry I didn't believe you. I guess I'm still making excuses for her. And Pink Pearl says, but it was an accident. She didn't mean to hurt me. And Pearl says, but you were hurt, and that's all that matters. And how did you stop being hurt? And then Pearl says, I didn't. And they fuse. And the rest of the episode is just greatly animated. Like, holy shit. Steven Universe really, starting with Change Your Mind, it really upped its fucking animation. Like, holy shit, this action scene is great. And the background music. And the Pearl fusion, it was just great. They're majestic and whimsical. It was just beautiful. And the end of the episode, it ends with, like, the Pearl fusion reconciling how the pearls are so different yet the same. Pearl knew her mother knew Rose was changing, but she didn't know why. And then Pink Pearl thought Rose would just never change, and now they can finally be together. And so it's implied that the pearls get together at the end because the pearls hold hands and like put their heads on each other's shoulder. It's beautiful. It was a really sweet episode, and it's honestly my favorite because of the action and the subtle themes behind it. And next week we're gonna get the episodes Blues. I forgot. It's the one with the fusion between Aquamarine and Eyeball, and I can't wait for that. And some other episode I forgot. But what did you think of these new Steven Universe future episodes? Tell me in the comments below. Like if you've liked the video. I highly doubt you did. And be sure to subscribe because we're back and we're got more videos. I do reviews and stuff. And animations. We have some animations coming up too. So if you want to stick around for that, be sure to subscribe. And we're going to cover these new Steven Universe future episodes as they roll out. So that's going to be fun. So what did you think of these 4 episodes? Tell me in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, take care.